Are you tired of mediocre haircuts and lackluster service? Look no further. Get ready to redefine your grooming game with the ultimate experience at No Grease Barbershop, conveniently located at North Lake Mall and Charlotte Premium Outlets. It's not just about a haircut, it's about the experience. No Grease Premium in North Lake sets a new standard for luxury with a full-service bar selection. Elevate your grooming experience even further with their signature drinks served during your service or while you wait. Whether you're looking for a classic fade, a timeless gentleman cut, or a bold modern style, No Grease Premium in North Lake got you covered with their design and color specialists. Let's not forget about the importance of routine self-care for men. Their partnership with Alpha Male Nail Care, exclusively at No Grease Premium, offers manicures and pedicures as a part of your routine grooming. Visit No Grease Barbershop at Charlotte Premium Outlets or North Lake Mall today, and make sure you tell them that the Black Dads Club sent you.
It's of this content space, like,
yes.
What is the future of it from a financial standpoint and creative?
I will say the number one person spending money right now is DraftKings, and I'm mad as DraftKings, Prize Picks. I'm mad as hell.
Betting sites.
I'm so mad that I didn't have a show where, because I don't think any female podcast has DraftKings as a sponsor, but they are dropping bags out here for the male podcasters. So, I mean, it's interesting. No one's really getting the MGs anymore, the minimum guarantees. The landscape has changed a lot.
In a bad way?
Yeah. I mean, I would say the money is harder to get unless you really build a core audience. And then you really are going to end up depending on your audience to get you money. So there's Patreon, there's live shows, there's merch, there's all of those ways to make money, but really making the money off advertising I've seen a crazy shift in that.
What is it, more money or less money?
Less money. Definitely.
So I found this, first of all, you sent this to me first.
Yep.
Then it got resent to me a bunch of times. So I was like, duh. I remember 2 years ago, I posted, I said, yo, if you get into podcasting to make money, get out because you're not going to make none. And somebody tried to argue with me. And then I was just like, all right, man, I know you personally on social media, so you stupid. But yo, shout out to our audience.
Yeah, definitely shout out to our audience. And, I mean, she's right. Your audience is going to have to be what propels you. And, our audience is slowly but surely growing. But no, you're not. This is a labor of love, man. We enjoy this. We enjoy coming over here. And I enjoy interacting with the people that I've just met, black males throughout the country. Just on the pod.
Bro, turn the knob and pull it up. Yeah. Mike insists on half-ass talking in the mic. And then I'm going to, so that my editing doesn't have to be like strenuous.
There we go.
There you go. I can hear you now.
All right.
A little bit better. All right. Here's the thing. We live in a microwave generation. People have figured out a way, and I think I've said this plenty of times on this podcast. I am a photographer. When the pandemic came, you know what everybody decided their passion was going to be? Photography. We live in this thing where now people don't have to learn. I laugh now when you look at photographers and they either they're using AI so they don't have to shoot. I love this whole AI tag on Instagram that they're doing, like letting people know this was made with AI. That is going to kill a lot of photography dreams because people are getting off on buying backgrounds, taking a picture on their phone in their living room, cutting out the backdrop, making it look like they in the forest, they outside, they in some mansion, and it blends so well that you can't tell, and it looks fake. And people are already been using retouchers, which is dangerous because, copyright. Some of y'all don't know that somebody is sending your pictures off to be edited by somebody else. But I say all that to say, we live in a thing right now. The conversation with Kendrick and Drake now is bots.
Yeah.
I told y'all at least a month ago on this pod that too many people have said that too many artists are using bots, whether that's with people profiles, whether that's with streams. Stream farms is a thing. I laugh when probably about 3 years ago when Joe Budden told everybody a lot of your favorite podcasters are using streaming farms to get their numbers up. And what happens is people are paying money to these podcasters that appear to be big. And then what happened is they noticing that they're not getting no clicks on these links. They're not getting no ROI on their money. And I do think that that's what happened with podcasts. Who remembers when Michelle Obama and Obama's got $20 million to do a podcast?
Oh, and Harry and
Meghan.
Meghan, yeah.
Kim K.
Yeah.
That person who gave out all them bags got fired, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And I think it is one of them things where podcasting is. So that's why I love our audience. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to us for crossing over 1,500 subscribers on YouTube, which is a big deal for us, especially when it ain't no money into this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like a lot of y'all are calling yourselves the biggest podcast and you paying for everything and nobody's showing up. And we could tell by the comments. No comment on who I'm talking about. Mike does not like me talking shit.
Yeah, that's not my thing, man. I am a peace-loving individual.
Y'all lucky I can't expose the group chat, because if I could, I would let y'all know. I want to welcome everybody to episode 143 of the Black Dads Club, presented to you by, sponsored by, loved on by, greeted by No Grease Barbershop Premium Outlets in North Lake Mall. Shout out to them. Darnell, I am coming soon. I promise, bro. I got to see if I got to work on Monday. I got to get a haircut. This is out of control. I think it's been a month. He refuses to look at me on FaceTime. If I FaceTime him, he's like, nah, I don't know you like that. But, you know, I had a dad tip of the week. I don't know if I saved it, though. Hold on. It was, let me put it like this. The dad tip of the week that I was going to share, it was of a guy who talked about why he doesn't put his kid in the bed. And he talked about how he felt like that was him and his wife's like private sanctuary. He's like, we make love in that bed, we hold each other in that bed, and I just don't feel comfortable just having my kid in that same area. And you know, I thought about that because I think a lot of dudes feel like that. It's kind of like, damn, where is our space? And I just thought it was an interesting take. It ain't really.
So your stance is don't put the kids in the bed when they're small.
Oh, I don't believe in that. Hell no.
I don't believe in it either. But it would be curious to hear, because I think a lot of guys do have their kids in the bed.
Yeah. But, you know, it was funny because the wife said she fought him on it just to realize he was right. And
I think that's why I think a lot of guys don't want to fight their wives on you know, having the kids in the bed. I absolutely was like, no.
Yeah.
No, like I would rather. Now, if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to be the person that gets up in the middle of the night, too. To go get the kids.
Oh, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not no kids in the bed, and then you don't get up when you hear the kids crying. Like, yes, you're about to destroy your marriage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to be willing. Like, hey, you know, I don't want the kid in the bed, and you know, so someone takes first shift, the other person takes second shift. You gave me that advice when I was having a baby. Yeah.
You also gave me the advice of the rocking chair, which was two great things. But
the rocking chair is the clutch. I'm telling you, you don't want your kids in the bed. You got to get a rocking chair.
You got
in the
to.
Room.
We still got that rocking chair.
Man, that thing came in. It's a way so you can get some sleep also.
Absolutely.
Because when you take second shift, you get the kid, you sit them in the rocking chair, you get the bottle, and you just rock them and do that 50% sleep thing while you're holding them.
Yep.
And you're not super tired the next day.
But yeah, we did the bassinet beside the bed, and then so if anything, she could just reach over.
Yeah.
Because so many people, even people that we know, shout out to everyone that listens to this podcast that put their kid in the bed, they hit us up, was like, do not do that shit. And then of course all the dudes like, bro, you never getting laid again if you do it, so just get ready. How was your Father's Day?
I was good, man. My son came over, him and his mother. We just had a pool day.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, hung out.
What did he get you? Because he young, so do they give gifts?
I mean, he got a car. You know, his mom did not remember to get me anything. But she didn't remember to get a car, or he remembered to get a car. So that was cool. But it was cool, man. It was cool to, you know, hang out with my son's mother and him, you know, at the pool, man. Like, I love when she and I get along because it puts our son in such a positive mood.
Yeah.
Like, it really, really do. And we're going to get to that question later about, like, the traditional family. But it's like, and this would be also a good dad tip, man. Like, when you have your kids, man, like, you got to stop fighting with your children's mother. And I know that's hard because sometimes they are the problem. I know we like to pretend that it's always the men. Sometimes they are the problem. You got to figure it out, bro. Just figure out, like, hey, what can you ignore? Because it does. It affects the children.
I love the what can you ignore.
That's the truth. Like, you got to figure out what you can ignore. Because if you fight about everything, man, it's going to affect your children, man.
Yo, we do that with Ro. Like, with the kid. What can I ignore today?
Exactly.
My dad was saying something. He's like, yo, he not matching. I'm like, bro, I got him up this morning. I made sure I brushed his teeth. I made sure he ate. I sent him to daycare. You know, we'll worry about that later. My Father's Day was mad cool. You know, we had brunch at the house. We had our little crew over. It was funny because the moms were supposed to cook. I think only Karina cooked. But it was super cool. It was wild drinking bourbon before 10:30 in the morning.
Nah, don't worry about it. 5 o'clock somewhere.
Absolutely. And I went to sleep. I took a nap early. My pops came by. I got him the Club Shay Shay cognac. So I'll let y'all know how it tastes. I don't know because I bought one for myself and then Ben bought it from me. So I don't have one no more. So we was able to do that, man, which was super cool. However, I will say this. Moms, y'all tried it. And I'm going to tell y'all how.
Uh-oh.
This year was probably the biggest year where I seen a lot of fathers like reaching out to other men. Yo, happy Father's Day, bro. Like, I'm glad. I was at the concert. I'm gonna get to the Sean Paul concert in a little bit. I was at the concert texting people, yo, happy Father's Day. Like, dudes, I remember I text you. I gave Mike a backhanded compliment, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
But I was texting people happy Father's Day and it was great to see it. But moms, y'all tried it. I love y'all Facebook statuses of happy Father's Day to all the active dads.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm using that shit on Mother's Day. Shout out to all the moms who didn't leave their kid at home, watching them through the Ring camera when they went to the Bahamas or the Grand Caymans or wherever Turks, wherever y'all was at.
It doesn't land the same on them because they tell themselves that they're great, right? Whereas if you're a shitty dad, you don't really tell yourself that you're a great dad. Like
Facts.
you might, like even if you pretend like I didn't see my kid.
Yeah, you only pretend on social media.
Yeah, and that's not the majority of men. Majority of men are seeing their children. Like y'all need to leave the game alone. The game is very problematic. All right, him hugging his daughter, like y'all gotta chill.
That was disturbing.
And game, stop posting shit.
Well,
I know he can't stop. Stop posting stuff, bro.
The game is my guy, man. You couldn't tell me I wasn't from the West Coast in the 9th grade. I'm talking about I played the documentary every day.
It was a good album. He should have became bigger than what he became. I mean, he's still, obviously a very famous rapper, but we thought the game was about to be up there with like you remember it was like him and 50. Like we thought him and 50 was about to be Jay-Z level. Yeah,
it's one of them things where it costs money to go to war.
Yeah.
You can't be getting in fights, shootouts with the biggest rapper who was 50 at the time. And, if your label being Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine is not finna pick you over 50, even though you did what you were supposed to do, you broke up G and the game did his thing. But at the same time, it costs money to go to war. And I think a lot of people don't understand that.
And you got to have the label backing you. Because most of these entertainers do not have the money. Like I watched a clip from, I think it was Little Richie.
Okay.
And he was just saying that everybody thought he was rich, but he actually wasn't rich because obviously he didn't own any of his publishing. I think Michael Jackson actually got his publishing back when he bought the Beatles catalog.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, he gave him his publishing back, but he was like, obviously he was talking about like during the 70s, early 80s.
Yeah,
but he was like he lived next to Joe Louis, the boxer, and he was about to lose his house, right? And because of pride, he couldn't ask people for money. He was like, he was like, Joe would have paid. He was like, it was like $3,000. Now this is like $3,000 during the 70s. So it's probably like 40, 50 grand. Now.
Yeah.
But he was just saying that basically as an artist, they do not have money. And I think a lot of times when we see, the Sexy Reds, Glorilla.
Bro, I tell you, when they come to the hotel, they be banking on you giving them free stuff because of who they are.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times we look at people that are really, really famous and they ain't got it like that.
They ain't got it like that. I will say this. So my wife asked me what I want to do for Father's Day. So I said, yo, I want to go to brunch. I want to go to sleep. Like that was my thing, especially when I found out the game wasn't coming on that day. And I remember my wife telling me, yo, Sean Paul's having a concert.
I wish I had known, man. I actually would have came out there.
I didn't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Until she sent that text. Well, I'm grinding on somebody. And I had to pick up my shit. And I said, well, guess who going? So we went. I will say this, man. Very interesting, fun concert. And the reason why I say it like that is Sean Paul's DJ goes, where all the white people at? In the crowd yells, right?
It's a lot of Caucasians at the.
I will say concert. It was maybe 30%.
Okay, what was the largest demographic? Because I mean,
are we getting there?
Yeah, like who?
So he said, "Where are my black folks at?" To me, that would include Jamaicans.
No, not in the Sean Paul concert.
Okay.
Any dance hall music, the Caribbean people are choosing themselves.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
He didn't even say where my Jamaicans at. That's what threw me off. But when he said where the black folks at, I didn't say nothing. But damn near, you could have dropped a pin in there. It was silent.
Nobody said, you should have said something. That man, they already be eating you up in the comments. And then this is what you're going to do in the concert, bro. Like, come on, man.
And then he said, where my Latinas at? Ooh, thought Chris Brown was up in there. It was off the chain.
Gosh.
So I was like, damn, this threw me off.
Was it like Latinos from the Caribbean, or was it like Latinos from like Central America?
I don't know, because from where I was standing at, I seen a lot of Caribbean people.
Yeah.
So, but it was definitely like, the concert was definitely that. I text y'all, I said Charlamagne might have been right. Sean Paul might be a Dominican from the Bronx, because he wore like shades for like half his show. So I'm thinking like, yo, we don't know who this is up here. And I'm talking about goggles.
Yeah,
so
I
like,
still don't know like Sean Paul's actual ethnicity. Because like Sean Paul came out when I was in high school. And up until that point, even though we had Bob Marley, who technically was a light-skinned Jamaican.
Okay.
All of the Jamaicans we had kind of seen up until that point were not, right?
Yeah.
So when Sean Paul came back around, we were just like,
oh, it is some of y'all.
Is he acting Jamaican, or is he? And, we didn't have the internet like you had the internet today.
Facts.
So I know y'all forget about this. There was a time in life where we did not have the internet.
Facts.
So we for the longest we did not know if Sean Paul was actually cosplaying or if he was actually Jamaican. If you Google him now, I think his dad is Jamaican and his mom was white. And
so it was interesting.
But also Jamaican. She was actually Jamaican. She was born in Jamaica.
Well, that makes him Jamaican. I will say this. It did great show, great set. We probably only stayed for 40% of the show. I was drunk by that time. I had started drinking at 9 and it was like 9 o'clock that night.
Sean Paul concert.
Yo, it was a good mix, man. It was like a good mix of songs.
Not Sean Paul. Like, I know that crowd was nice.
Oh, they was in there. The lookers was in there. Fellas, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
they are in there and they just dancing. It's a lot of sweating. It's a lot of dancing. Which goes to, me and you was talking about this off mic, like you think about, you go to the Sean Paul concert expecting people to dance, right?
Yeah.
We was talking about clubs now have sections ruin the club, and it's just like nobody dances anymore.
Yeah, I haven't been to a club in like a decade.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen like an image of a club with lights on, and they were just saying like how VIP services kind of destroyed the clubs. Like they showed one club, I can't remember if it was in Vegas or where it was, but there was no dance floor. There was nothing but couches and sections. And I'm like, bro, like, that's crazy. And then when I hear what they paying in sections now, like, I thought it was stupid 15 years ago. Like, these rates now, I'm like, yeah, you can't do nothing but the scammers and the dope boys. And
facts.
Hell, the athletes can't even really mess with it no more.
Hey, I be in Vegas in August, man. I'll let y'all know. I am not getting no table, though. Not that much money.
All you gotta do in Vegas is the pool parties. That's it.
Facts.
Because you can actually get a table at a pool party or an area or a section, whatever.
Yeah, you can get a little section.
Yeah, and that'll still run you low. And the pool parties are always better than the night parties.
Absolutely, but you will pass out because if you get the little cheap table by the pool, you ain't got no coverage.
Oh, you're gonna be in the sun.
Yeah,
and you're gonna be drunk.
And you, boy.
But you know, you take a nap anyway, and then when you get up, that's the good thing about Vegas. No matter what time you get up, restaurants are open. Something to do. It's like,
the hose is open. What's my man Terrell from the Eagles? Yo, you can't run off from the escorts, big dog. You can't do that,
dude.
Like, and also, ain't it escort etiquette to get paid before services? I would think so.
Bro, I don't even know no more because, I mean, half of these ads I be seeing, they be like, yo, cash at me. And I be like,
oh, yeah. Don't fall for that, fellas.
I'm like, yo, like, are y'all really electronically transferring funds for an illegal action? Like, you know that if this person ever gets busted,
you in their phone.
They're going to turn all your stuff over.
Well, not even that for me. It's like, yo, do you know how many women will tell you, escorts will tell you, do not fall for that. That is a scam. That is a dude on the other side of the country who has stole people's pictures. He's going to send you a bogus address, require the money up front, and then block you. And then you out of it. And, that is the scam now. I always laugh at that. So I was kind of shocked at sis.
I wouldn't even think about that. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, bro, think about how great of a scam that is.
I would never send somebody money that I've never met.
Mike, if I'm telling you, if I'm listening out all the nastiest, freakiest shit on my ad that I would do, I'm telling you, this is what you gonna get.
I'm paying the cash.
$50 ain't, I need a $50 deposit. That ain't that bad.
Never that horny.
Think about this. If I get 10 of y'all in one day and I ain't left my house and I'm in a whole different state, you ain't gonna find me because I'm using a Google number.
Yeah, you're not about to.
Think about how many dudes do that a day.
Well, I mean, the simping. Yeah, this is simp culture. I guess.
You can get off. I can make 5 racks a day. I do this in Charlotte. I do it in Atlanta. In Miami, they giving it up. New York. I run this shit in Houston. I'm running LA and San Francisco, and I'm only asking for $25, $50. But if I'm doing this every hour in 10 different states, oh my God, this sounds like a great idea now.
It's actually not a bad scam at all.
This is the greatest scam of all time.
Yeah, I don't have time. I can't.
Look, but if you're making 5 racks a day, you'll find the time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, even sending money. Like, I do think he should. We always say sex work is real work, so he definitely should have paid the escort.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why he ran off anyway, because it's like, dude, she's gonna expose you.
Oh, facts.
Like, it was just a bad idea.
And I don't like the ladies exposing people, and y'all automatically go to booty play, like.
Well, I wouldn't even talk about that kind of exposure. I'm saying like she gonna be like, hey,
absolutely.
Pastor Mike Will came here for a prostitute.
Like I thought it was nasty work when Amber Rose finally got on the radio station and admitted she lied about playing in Kanye ass.
I think that type of exposing I don't like at all because
and then you lied.
But my biggest thing is you always say that heterosexual black men are homophobic, right? Mm-hmm. But the moment you don't like a heterosexual black man, you start accusing him of doing things that emasculates him. Facts. And it's like, ooh,
that was a good politically correct way of putting it.
I know, I nailed it.
Yeah, you did.
Right, and it's like you're using that language, right? And then you also trying to assign a phobia to him, and it's like, you're the ally, and you're the one that's using this in a denigrating manner, and no one ever calls
facts
any of that side out on what they do, because you typically don't really see men insulting men in that manner. Like for all the problems that we have with D Wade, we talk about his humiliation ritual way more than I don't think we've ever inferred his sexuality. Because I mean, to be honest, I still don't know. Nor do I care. Right? So it's like, it's like our side always get blamed for that, and we're like the ones that actually don't care.
Yeah, I thought Amber Rose, I thought that was nasty work.
That's nasty work. And then she get called out for it.
Yeah, and for her to say, oh, I was just mad. It was just like, so I said that, and it's like, damn, sis. Like, luckily, and shout out to Ye. I think you should seek help, Kanye, but Ye took that on the chin and was just like, man, whatever, man.
Yeah, Ye should seek help for a lot of things.
Yeah,
I want some good music. Yeah, ain't really dropped this anything in a while, man.
Nah, man.
I know that's your boy too, and I know I bang on him, but I actually like Kanye.
Me too, man. But he do some weird stuff. Let's get to this show, man. This balloon popping thing. There's a GoFundMe for this dude. Did you see the video of the dude?
So I didn't see the whole video, right? So
yeah, because that shit like an hour.
So
and
I don't know the context, but I watched the clip, and then I went and watched the young lady that quote unquote exposed him.
Okay.
In the beginning, she's actually out of Arizona too, and so she's Mexican American.
Okay.
Right. He met her in New Mexico, went there. Anyway, she just basically says that like he's controlling or whatever. He's controlling and he's arrogant. And she didn't like him. Now, she also has a platform of 75,000 people follow her on TikTok. So she might be a wee bit also enjoys attention.
Facts. Or gets paid for.
Yeah. But with that being said, what I saw for him on the show, it didn't reach the levels that I thought people should, try to get him fired. It didn't. Now, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying that something occurred that it didn't. I'm just saying from what people have in the comment section, from what I saw, it does not reach levels of calling people jobs. And I'm going to say this. This is why I say I stay clear of those who will not be named. This is why I stay clear of the other side of the community. And this is why I stay clear of Black Rad Films. Because y'all create fights that doesn't exist. I don't know what this guy did to stir that ire that you like, you know what? I want to see you suffer.
I don't know either. I watched it. I was disgusted. I thought he was corny.
Definitely.
I thought that the show, and I'm tired of these shows. These shows do that. These shows are being heated by social networking platforms.
Absolutely.
And it's just to make us look crazy. And I'm talking about we as the black folks.
Exactly.
He gets on there and you talk about a woman's arms and then you just automatically go to her appearance. And I feel bad for sis because I always, when those shows, I listen more than I watch videos. So I'm listening to her voice crack. I'm listening to her like, oh shit, let me take shots at you. So I do get to call you short and I do get to say whatever. And then she was like, bro, just go on. And he was just like, now he got to belittle her even more. And I'm just like, man, but that's what these shows are for, right? Like my other line was one of the 20v1 shows and the dude just asked the girl, yo, do you got a gag reflex? And Shorty was like, you want to see? He like, yeah. He takes her in the bathroom and his two boys put their ears in the microphone. Yeah. To the and it's like,
I mean, it's corny, but that's young stuff.
That is all it is.
Yeah,
and that's why I said last week in the dad tip, be careful what your kids is watching because they catering it to those kids for a reason. And they like it. These kids be sitting on here watching, giggling. So you'll walk in, you'll just see, oh, they just watching 20 kids on there. And I'm saying kids, but these be young adults.
Yeah. I mean, they're college age. And again, right, like it's on YouTube now. Very similar stuff happened in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
You walk in a room, chick likes you, she wants to go. You're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So very similar. But the idea, here's the thing. My whole thing is if we're having a conversation, right, and we both are taking shots at one another,
mm-hmm.
right? This should not leave beyond the internet. And too much stuff on the internet right now is leaving the internet, right? And,
mm-hmm.
and happening in the real world. And that if we start living in that environment, we don't really have nuance anymore. Like we don't really have the ability to have true conversations anymore. And I don't like that. The balloon popping show, I think no one is going on the show seemingly to be like, hey, we all like this guy. We want to compete.
Fact.
Like I saw them diss a dentist that was like 6'2".
Yeah.
You know, on one of these shows.
It's to go viral.
Yeah. And so it's like that part I'm not enjoying because at the end of the day, we should be trying to, like, if you're on a dating show, you should be trying to settle down. Mm-hmm. And it's like now I think we're getting to the point that people are going to only go viral, to only, promote and to only just like, dump on the other demographic.
Absolutely. We got Karina got me watching a show called Perfect Match on Netflix, and it's like all the Nick Lachey shows that he hosts, whether it's Love is Blind, whatever, all them type of shows. This show is bringing all the people that seemingly want to be Instagram famous or social media famous onto this show to basically match with each other every week. And it's just like full of drama and like just media thirsty or fame thirsty. And it's just weird. I will say this though. They do a great job of picking pretty people. And I was actually impressed. I'm like, damn, they don't have no bad looking people, but it's like, that's what you need when you're trying to do it, right? Like every girl got either no tits cause she looks small or just huge tits, right? All the dudes have hair. All the dudes work out. One dude used to do porn. You know what I'm saying? One dude used to be a stripper. They did a great job. But, even one of the girls on the show, she was a host on another show and they were in there calling her out. I felt bad, though, because they kept saying, yo, you only here to be famous. And I'm like, ain't that all of y'all?
That's everybody.
But,
shows.
But yeah, I do think like a lot of these shows is turning into it's
toxic dating, and I think it's bleeding into real life, right? Or people in real life, people are like, I'm gonna kind of tell you all, I had a young lady that I matched with on one of the day naps.
Oh
right?
my, okay, man.
Yeah, right.
How'd she look?
I mean, she was cute.
Great answer. Come on, be politically correct.
Yeah, she was cute, right? But anyway, we're texting, right? Because I was like, hey, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be uptown the middle of the week. Want to grab lunch?
Okay.
Whatever. So we having a conversation, and then I'm just having a conversation with her, and I was just like, she was texting me if she was driving. I was like, hey, don't text and drive, boo, or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, just hit me whenever you situated. Dude, she did not like the fact that I tried to tell her what to do. And I was like, yo, I literally just said you don't have to text and drive. Like when you're talking to me, just hit me where you're going, right? And I that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of this shit, I didn't respond. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like,
we good, ma.
My bad, and I haven't even responded. I'm not even taking out. I'll go waste that money at Ruth Chris on fucking Manhattan's before I take out lunch. But it's like we're at this place where it's like everything is contentious.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not supposed to be contentious in dating. Dating is supposed to be lighthearted, fun. Flirty, sexual tension. It is not supposed to be who gonna get it off first.
Bro.
All right.
So glad that I'm not outside.
No comment.
Good luck to y'all, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Hold on.
She's in your house. Why are you paying all the bills?
Cause it's my house.
But why is she in your house?
With money don't want you to listen. I'm gonna give this out to all women worldwide.
This how it started.
Money don't want you paying no. We don't care for you to do that. We not coming to get you for no bread. If you do that and you get your own bread on the side, we gonna clap our hands for it. We gonna smile about it. We gonna be proud of it. We don't need you to do it. That's the advantage of picking us. We don't want you for that. We want to.
I hate you athletes. I said this.
That was like 2 years ago, right?
Bro, this was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I've always told y'all, athletes and entertainers, these dudes are the dumbest, unless you're Jaylen Brown, and the corniest. You know what I'm saying? Like, majority of them are corny.
Yes.
And it's just weird. They are really just tall dudes with money.
Come mess with the rich guys. We don't want you to do anything over here. We got you.
And then what happens is, apparently this is all alleged. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. We love y'all. Run us a free ad, buddy. It says Iman Shumpert is asking his child. He asking Tiana Taylor said that he make $45,000 a month. She make 90, so he wants his child support payment lowered. Now, I stand with him. But
absolutely.
After you did that and you shitted on other men,
yeah. And now you the same place that other men. This is why you can't be arrogant and cocky no matter how well your life is going, bro. Life will show you. Life will humble. I've been humbled in life.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't dump on other dudes and be like, man, y'all need women to do X, Y, and Z. You looking at that $8,000 a month, being like, dang, hey, can we drop this?
Something. And then also it's like, to uplift you, you don't have to bring or shit on nobody else. My favorite thing with a lady was like, oh, if you make under $50,000, you can't date, right? Yeah. Who's on Poor Minds. My thing was, I told y'all last week, her first thing was like, yeah, go date bum bitches. It's like, dang, like, why did the women have to catch a straight?
Well, see, the thing about it is none of the women thought that was a straight because women never think that they're poor. Women just think that they haven't met the right man yet. They never feel like they're poor.
Mike went away from the politically correct comments, which is fair. That is a fair. I never thought of it like that. I might clip that. I don't know. I don't want you to get cussed out.
Yeah.
But that is actually very, very interesting.
Yeah. But if Tiana's making 90, to your point, right?
Yeah.
If she's making 90, he's making 48. I do not understand why, if you have shared custody or if you are rich, like, why are you asking the other parent for anything?
Because you got to do your part.
Dude, if
you got to do your part.
The part is being a parent. The part is being available. The part is being accessible. If you good, like, dude, if I was good, I would not expect anything from the other parent, right? Like, I just wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Like, Tiana should be like, yo, I make 90. I know he makes 50. I do not need his $8,000.
Well, I wonder who got the kids.
I'm guessing she has.
So if I got the kids, I'm making 90. So I got to pay for everything and keep them all the time.
You
but
you making 90,000 a month.
And I don't believe that Tiana. Keep wanting to call her Trump. I don't believe Tiana makes $90,000. I mean, I know that she is an artist.
Yeah.
Who ain't put out an album recently.
Hey man, I got that.
He has an NBA pension that comes in all the time. Like, and I don't want to get into their finances and stuff.
I mean,
but
we definitely not pocket watching. I'm saying,
I believe in that now.
Assuming,
wait a second.
Assuming that they are as rich as he's saying that they are.
Yeah.
Like if I made 90 and my woman was making 48,000 and I had the kids full time, I would not expect anything from her.
Yeah, I believe most men would be like that. Like, yo, if I got the kids all the time,
if I made 48
90,
and I had the kids all the time and she made 90.
My mom just called.
I would not expect anything from her. You know what I'm saying? I still, like, I'd be like, yo, like, I mean, I might hit you up for camp, be like, yo,
yeah,
I need you to come in with, but it still would be like half. Like, I wouldn't expect, and I think we don't give men enough credit for the way that we are way more altruistic. We're not as selfish. We're not as self-serving. Like, if we can handle it, we sacrifice a lot. Like, I think most men would be the same. If you made 50 and your wife made 90, would you really be like, yo, I
wouldn't. As a man, I wouldn't. But at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if we get to a point and she's like, yo, let's say she making 90 and I'm making 45 and she got the kid all the time. I expect her to be like, yo, what are you doing then? At that point, I would believe for her to say, what are you doing then? I would be looking at her and saying, yo, if that's the case, Iman need to have his kids all the time.
Yeah, and maybe we do.
I doubt it. You look, I doubt that.
Yeah,
I doubt that. Especially, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. When that money was coming in all the time and you had them game checks coming in, you was talking crazy. This is what you get. Yeah. But I think most men they making double than they girl. They're not gonna be hitting her up like, yo, I need you to take care of this. I need you to take care of that. That's
not
most
hitting
men.
her up at all.
Yeah, it's
really
the
same amount. Like, I mean, dudes really have to be like struggling to be like, hey, I need you to cover the.
Yeah, but he ain't struggling. You making 45, bro.
He's not struggling.
And you want a reduction, but I mean, y'all got 2 kids?
Yeah, they got 2 kids. I just find that
you shouldn't have left.
And how he talked all that noise about being rich, and now he's like, oh, I need a break.
Hey man, y'all shouldn't have cheated, man. Hold on, here my favorite part of the internet. Hold on.
Who did you look up to?
Oh no, they ain't they ain't the thing I wanted.
Your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
She looks back behind her.
Can we? Yeah.
Oh, this
Can we not?
Our girl Tyla.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too.
Somebody say no, we not.
From the back and say we can't. I like that. That's good. That's even better.
How did Charlamagne become the curator of blackness in this country?
Well, I think, you know what? I would put it like this. Charlamagne has taught me one thing that I will always appreciate him for. Charlamagne has no problem with letting you know that he's ignorant on the topic.
Yeah, he don't know.
And he always leads with, I believe people should tell people I am ignorant on topic. And live in, yo, now it's your job to educate me because I don't know. And I will say that. Now, I do believe, you know, in his interview question, whoever they have back there, I don't know if it's you, Taylor, or whoever it is that gets in there. Taylor is a program manager. But I don't know if it's her who do the research and come up with these questions, because I just always associated Tyla as African because she's from Africa.
Yeah.
But I do love how they try to tell us all the time that people are black. But we'll get there. Hold on. I do want to read her statement because I think that's important. So if you don't know Tyla, I mean, we just played it, but Tyla went on the Breakfast Club. She asked them, Charlamagne asked her about the difference between in her country being colored versus black. And Tyla, who just sat there being as pretty as she is, turned around, look at her publicist. Her publicist says, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And suddenly what came out later that day was, guys, never deny my blackness. I don't know where that came from. I am mixed with black, Zulu, Irish, Indian, and colored. In South Africa, is classified as a colored woman. In some places, I'll be classified as a black woman. Race is classified differently in different parts of the world.
She did not write this.
Oh, I'm about to get there. I did not expect to be identified as a colored outside of South Africa. So anyone not comfortable doing so, because I understand the weight of the word outside of South Africa. But to close this conversation, that means I ain't answering this shit no more.
Yeah.
I am both colored in South Africa and a black woman. As a woman for the culture, I love when they do that.
For the culture.
It's and not or. Oh, it's and not or. With that being said, some word I can't pronounce. Asambe, I don't know. Yeah. My favorite line is when PR people, the new PR scam is making us believe PR statements are not PR statements and the artist is smart enough to write them. I am no shape or form calling Tyla unintelligent. She has not shown me she is unintelligent. I don't know this woman. She's in a country that is not her homeland. She's in a culture that she's not accustomed to. So navigating that takes time. If I go to South Africa right now, I will be lost in the dark. So yeah, I get it. But I will say this. That is a PR statement if I have ever seen one. I don't care if you wrote it in your notes. I don't care if you put your gist on it. Yeah. That is some chat GPT shit right there.
Tyla did not write that. And here's the thing. If I ever had to write a PR statement, I would not write it.
Facts. No, I'm not a publicist.
Like,
so I'm not mad. But don't dumb it down and try to make it seem like if you can't say those 5 sentences to Charlamagne, She could not even speak when Charlamagne asked her that. She turned around and looked at somebody.
Because it's a polarizing topic, right? And like Tyla is being from South Africa, she does identify as colored. Because like color is like, the middle race, in our apartheid, right? You're not on the bottom. And most people don't want to be on the bottom. And there's, a lot of countries that, quote unquote, don't have, deal with race. In the United States, we make it like we're the only country that really, really deal with race. But a lot of countries, are like this. Like mulatto is an actual race designation in Brazil. Like, so act like the majority of the country identifies as, mulatto. Colombia, a lot of people identify as, mestiza, right? Which is basically mixed indigenous, right?
Okay.
But the mixed indigenous people towards the coast are my complexion, right? So a lot, and if you actually have a conversation with them, they'll tell you, they're like, it's Afro, but they identify as, I'm definitely messing the name up, mestizo.
Okay.
Don't
know.
Yeah. Then you have people that identify as like Afro Brazilian, or Afro Latina, and I tell you, I always say, like, I will put the blackness on everybody, because especially as a Southerner, especially a Southerner from the Carolinas, like, our complexion come in all different ranges. Even when you're not Gavin, right? Like, it's all different. Like, in the South, and I get it. It's not like this everywhere in the South, right? Like, it's not really like this sometimes in Louisiana outside of New Orleans. It's not really like this in, Mississippi,
Georgia outside of Atlanta.
If you're in inner city places like New York City, right? You have an Haitian, Jamaican, so you don't really have that range, right? Like, it's all identified by like where their nationality is from. But in the Carolinas, like, we're used to this range of, it goes from lightest Gavin to as dark as this microphone, and it could be the same family.
Yeah, facts.
So
Facts.
I think,
my problem with the Tyler situation was the internet, and I'm not putting it on one gender. I'm not putting it on one race or one background. I saw a lot of people trying to kick Charlamagne's back in, which, by the way, this is a great question, because it got a lot of us educated.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of trying to kick his back in. I seen a lot of foreigners be confused and call Americans ignorant. Let me give y'all the reason why a lot of Americans might seem stupid or rude when it comes to this topic. Too many times they being the powers that be, try to bring people over here, make them cool. Because let me tell you something. If black folks say something ain't cool in this country, it ain't cool.
It ain't cool.
It's just not cool.
You can try it as hard as you want.
This shit is not cool.
It's not going to work.
To only be 13% of this country, if it ain't cool, it ain't really rocking, right? And so what happens is they bring people over here, and you got to get black people to just rock with them.
They did it with Burna Boy.
Oh, facts.
They did it with
Rihanna. They did it with
Tyla, Rihanna. Yeah, like, and it's like it's under the umbrella of black music. And then once they elevate, now we start realizing, oh yeah, I'm not really from here. I don't really identify as black.
To change Ariana Grande's background, her upbringing.
Yeah,
they put a mean ass tan on her, had her dating only rappers, and Victoria Monet writing everything. Once people found the old Ariana Grande pictures, she ain't been cool since. The Weeknd left. Big Sean was done with that. You know what I'm saying? And Victoria Monet career, keep doing your thing. Amazing, by the way. But I say that even though I'm making jokes with it, but I look at it as like, yeah, Tyler got to come over here, and we do got to tell everybody, yo, she's black, she's black, she's black. Tyler that said out of her mouth, yo, I see myself as a colored person, and she's now with this PR, I'm both. Nah, but in my country, it's something, and I agree with it. It's like, it is what it is. But too many times we get people that are agents.
Yes.
People who are playing the game, and they come over here, we say we black, and you never hear from them again.
Now I do believe Tyler has to, you got to read the room, right? You're in the United States of America, right? So let's put it this way. If I went to South Africa and I said something that was offensive to South Africans, right? As an American, is it on them or would that be on me?
It's
right?
on you.
It's on me, right? Like, I need to know better, because this is not my home.
Yeah.
And that's, I think sometimes our culture, it gets used to the point where people just feel like they can say what they want to say. And that's why I'm not really mad at the delineation when it comes to ethnicity for, African Americans to be like, hey, we kind of need to be seen as our own subset of black, because I think that sometimes everything that we do just get used by everybody, and then the moment everybody uses it, they're like, yeah, I'm not that anymore, right? Like Tyla plays on the fact that she's a black woman.
Yeah.
Like that's
absolutely.
what makes it popular. That's what makes it sexy, right? She's playing on that fact. So I don't think it's an unfair question for Charlamagne to be like, hey.
Nah, I thought it was a good question.
Because you have said you colored, right? But I think that was an opportunity to kind of teach us, like how people see themselves where I'm from. And for us to be able to teach her, like, hey, we don't use that term here anymore because of the apartheid that ended here. In the 60s, technically the 70s.
Yeah. I have no comments on dudes spending $1,000 to go see Chris Brown or $1,100. If you want to, I don't know an artist right now. If they had a meet and greet for $1,000, I would pay to go see. I really don't know. I would love to. If it was a meet and greet for me, it would be a let's talk. Like I would. How long we got?
I don't know.
Let's talk. I'd rather talk. If I do the meet and greet, it's like, hey, bro, I'm trying to be in the room. Let's just chop it up. Let me have a conversation. Let me ask you some shit. But to go in there and take a picture with Chris Brown, whatever. The girls, I think it's a genius idea on Chris Brown's behalf. Think about it like this. This is why I tell you it's a genius idea. Every city Chris Brown goes into, he's making untaxed money. That he's
Chris
racking
is
up.
paying taxes on his money.
Absolutely, Chris. My bad. But I think it's dope. Y'all not finna fool me with this. Yo, I broke up my fiance. I dumped my girl because she was in a picture with Chris Brown. You're not getting me. This is another step for let's go viral. Let's get our 5 minutes of fame. Let's run this up.
You know what? That's a solid point. That's a solid
Bro.
Chris Brown he seemed to be breaking them up though. I will say this. If I'm dating my girl and she's like, yo, I'm going to the Chris Brown concert, I wouldn't care, right?
Nah.
But if she's not paying a bill around that house, and if I've asked her to pick up tabs and she like, no, she ain't pick up tabs, and I see her in the Chris Brown photo and I know she done paid $1,100, yeah, I'm breaking up with her. I ain't even gonna lie.
Hey.
It ain't even being in the picture with Chris Brown. It's the fact that like, yo, you ain't covering nothing around here and you paying $1,100 for a photo. Bruh, you gotta go. I ain't even gonna lie. You gotta go. So maybe that's why they breaking up.
Is there any artist? First of all, you said there's no male artist you would pay to meet.
No, I would never. A meet and greet, like if it's a VIP package and it includes like suites, backstage,
okay,
all that, food, drinks. Yeah, I pay for all that, right? But you talk about like a separate, like, all right, you got VIP. Hey, if you want to meet the artist, we're gonna tack on. Man, I don't care if it's $50. No, I'm not paying any extra money to meet anybody. I just saw you in the show. I came for the show. I did not come here to shake your hand. I didn't. I want a good show.
I think I would. It's artists who I would pay.
Who would you pay? Kanye?
Nah, he gonna do some weird shit. But I mean, like, you gotta understand, I've worked in hotels where I met famous people.
Yeah.
A lot of them, had conversations with them, and it's cool. I'm never paying nobody for a picture. There's no artist who I want a picture with. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite things I told y'all, I used to text Mike and them all the time at the Ritz, like who I met, right? Because when you get to meet these people, when there's no cameras, whatever, you do have great conversation, but I'm not paying to take a picture with no artist, not even the female artist.
I'll pay for backstage and the food and the VIP. Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I don't care if you say, yo, it's $5 extra. I'm not paying to meet an artist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like because I think it would be a more, authentic, experience if I'm backstage and the artist walks through and then stops, or they walk through and then they just dap you up. I think that's cool, but like me paying $1,000 to shake your hand and take a picture. Yeah. Like
I pay Pusha T, Fat Joe.
Wait a minute. I'm thinking about this now.
But I'm not taking no picture with none of y'all. I just want to. I would pay if it's like what Mike said.
Because Chris Brown is like pawning these behinds, right? In these photos.
Yeah, he doing whatever.
So I don't know if I get the palm. If I get the palm, I don't know. That's different.
I'm not paying to take no picture with nobody.
I change my opinion if I get to palm.
And Pusha T, open up your DM. I wrote you from the Black Dads Club. Tell me how much that interview costs. I definitely want to have a conversation with him about being a new dad. after you expose somebody for not being a father.
I think he exposed him to have a kid. Y'all would say he wasn't a father. I think he was taking care of the kid. He doesn't strike me as a deadbeat. He strikes me. Trey, he doesn't strike me as a deadbeat.
Now, we made you a dad, nigga.
I just think he was private.
I ain't trying to hide the world from the kid, my kid from the world. All right, buddy. You post everything else. Oh, by the way, before we get to the Ask a Black Dad segment, today, happy Juneteenth. Did we say that?
We did not say that. I was saying it for the end, though.
Oh, but happy Kendrick Lamar. Ken and Friends is tonight. By the time you've seen or heard any of this, it has already happened. I will be on my Twitch tonight ready because it's going to be amazing. A 3-hour concert by Kendrick Lamar.
When's it coming on?
What time?
No, like what
I think it's going to be on Twitch and maybe YouTube. It's going to be lit.
I might come on tonight. Oh, God. Let's see if I can get my Twitch on, man, so we can go watch the concert. You know what? This might be interesting.
This man is a
Text me.
It's gonna be 3 hours though. You got to come in at the last hour, because the first hour.
Text me when you on, because I mean I'm almost certain I have a Twitch.
I'm gonna be on Twitter's gonna be lit.
We're gonna get the social media thing all set up.
We'll figure that out. Ask a Black Dad segment. This is presented to you by No Grease Premium in Northlake Mall. I am so excited because
best barbershop in the Southeast, bar none.
Absolutely, and they show you a good time, man. They always show us
have a full bar there. Awesome.
Absolutely, man. Sis, do you want your Instagram? No. I am gonna do this to her.
No,
because she look good, and they gonna tell her ass up. They will be in your DMs, and she's very educated.
Yeah, do not do that.
She's educated. She's mad cool. I am not gonna shout her out. But man, you know you is, man. She said, so me and her we was having a conversation. She was going off the Jason Tatum and Ellie Mae possibly being pregnant, right? And she said they secret, they having a happy relationship, they being low key, and how to navigate this area of social media while still making your partner feel validated, valued, and appreciated. So her question is to Pastor Mike, shout out to the pastor. Is the traditional family dead or dying?
I think it's definitely dying. And I think it leads. So if we go back to the balloon popping part, right? Like okay. I think that's become more of the culture of dating, right? I'm not saying that's women, right? I'm just saying like that's dating. And I think the ideal, like we got the balloon popping show, right? You got Ebony K. Williams, right? Yeah. So you have all these things that's being presented as the family, even more so over, actual married couples, having families. So I definitely think the ideal is dying as a culture in the country, not even just black culture. This is happening in the white culture as well. But I do think that the men that are still desirable, like I think that the men that women still want, and I'm not speaking on behalf of women, I'm speaking on behalf of these men that don't have problems with women, which means that they have access to women. They're still traditional men. Like we are still like, no, I still want family, right? And I still want to raise my family in this way, and I still want to have my home run in this manner, right? And that's not, a monolith. I'm just saying like that's kind of like the baseline. Like, I want to be married. I want children with my wife. Those men still exist. What we're not hearing from is the women that are still saying, I want to be married. I want to have all my kids with my husband. I want to wait to have kids with my husband. And I want to raise them under one roof. Like, we hear it more from the male side than we hear it from the female side. And Mandi just used that terminology, so don't y'all get on me in the comments. But we hear more men saying they want the traditionalism than what we hear women. So is it dying? Yes, because women are going to be where culture come from. Women teach culture to the children. Yeah. Men's job is kind of to provide that provision, and then once a child reaches an age to start providing guidance, right? But like when you talk about culture, like that's your mom. Like mom is the one that is keeping you up on birthdays, keeping you up on, hey, make sure you call your grandmother, make sure you call your grandfather. Like mothers are the ones that are providing culture, getting the kids together to have the cousins and all those things. So when women stop doing that, yes, you're going to start losing the culture. And the only thing that kind of like revitalize that is when the men that are more traditional start back finding women that are like that.
Yeah, for me, I don't think it's dead. I just knew it was such a change. We said it last week, right? The generation before mine, your generation. Yeah. Ever since the end of time, beginning of time, like 2-parent households has been going down and going down and going down, right? And now it's not uncommon that you meet somebody and they have a kid. You can really be on the internet, meet somebody and never knew they had a kid. COVID showed me how many chicks is actually having kids. Like I was like, "Yo, wait, you a mom? Yeah. Who would have known?" I know a girl. I know a bride who in Dubai right now, getting pissed and shitted on, and her kid is definitely in the state. You can't say. Well, that's what they going over there and doing. Ain't they?
I go to Dubai to golf. All right.
We ain't talking about you. We talking about the dudes who bringing the girls over there. What they doing?
I don't know. They go jet skiing.
There you go.
Can't say that,
you can't even scream on the street, man. They doing that freak shit over there. But I say all that. Nah, in all seriousness, it's not uncommon now to meet somebody and they having kids. And it's not uncommon, people now aren't afraid of getting divorces, right? People are not
definitely not afraid of getting divorces.
People are not, even adoption, stuff like that. It's so many things that have changed that makes it different. I think the Ebony K. Williams thing is interesting as hell to me.
Do you think that's going to start a trend?
Well, I don't think so because you have to have a certain salary. Now, within that community, maybe. Yes. But IVF, let's not make this weird. Most people that do IVF are married folks who can't have children. They need help. So it's a lot of that. I don't believe the trend of I want to be a single mom. I don't believe that is going to be a trend amongst the people, amongst a certain tax bracket. Let me just put it like that. I would be nice amongst the CD and F students. That's going, that might be their bag. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but everybody else.
I think marriage is going to become more elite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's just a certain class of people. But here look, the whole marriage thing, right? Like when all that's not really what I'm talking about when I'm talking about marriage. It's about that commitment between a man and a woman.
Everybody doing elopements, just to let y'all know.
Yeah.
Save you money.
Yeah, that's exactly what my next one's going to be unless my wife is rich.
Oh, facts. $90K a month, man.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I think that it shouldn't be elite. Like it really has to be based around the commitment to one another, right? Like I want to care for you, you want to care for me. Mm-hmm. But then it also has to be based around the children. I don't think marriage don't really seem to be about the kids anymore, right? Never. Or even having kids, anymore. And I get it, right? Like you want to be in love, you want this person to be exclusive to you. And I can agree with all that, right? Mm-hmm. But there's going to be outcomes that happen because you and I are together, and a lot of times that's children. And when I look at like the shape of our community right now, mm-hmm. one of the things that I really see is there's a lack of male leadership in our community, right? There's a lack of masculinity. There's, it's not hyper masculinity. It's not toxic, right? Mm-hmm. I've been clear. Masculinity is care, grace, and mercy. And there's a lack of that in our community. There's a lack of care in our community. There's a lack of grace in our community. There's a lack of mercy in our community, right? And that is because I think that there's a lack of fathers in the home, right? There's fathers. Somebody's making these babies. Yeah. They're not getting pregnant by themselves. They're not getting IVF, right? Nah. They're getting pregnant, right? But it's not by the best of men. And I think the best of men are kind of becoming hesitant, if not even resistant to the ideal of what's happening right now in this culture. And I don't think we understand what that looks like in the next 10 or 15 years. When you see what it looks like, it's going to be offensive. And I'm going to just leave it at that.
One thing I say before we go to the next subject, I run across a lot of women, being that I'm a photographer, who are showing up to their master's, their doctorate photo shoot, single. If y'all want, I can start a bulletin board and putting them on there and y'all can start contacting them. But it's all seriousness. But the reason why I say that and being serious is because it's like it's not uncommon to meet the intelligent, beautiful woman, black woman who's, now 30 saying, hey, I'm ready to start looking for love. And it's like they are realizing like, damn, the dating pool isn't. And I'm not here to say that, when you start in that process, you need to be finding a man there at 24. No, I'm not doing that. What I
am, I'll go there. I mean, because
that's easy, but
it's harder. It's harder the older you get.
It may be, but let me put it like this. it might be hard to date, but at that time, you know, you going through school. I remember what it was like trying to date through college. That shit is a distraction like hell. You can fail a class by being in a bad relationship.
You could fail out a semester just by chasing ass. So,
exactly.
I mean, yeah,
so I'm not mad at the people who are like, yo, let me put this first and hoping and praying. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I ain't mad at that. And when it's your time, it's gonna be your time. That's all good. We all love to lie and sell and stuff.
You know what we don't do anymore?
What's that?
Like, we don't match make anymore. Like, that was a thing back in the day.
Is it because people feel responsible?
I don't know. I mean, it might be something to dive into, but you know, like, matchmaking used to be a thing, right? Like,
Facts.
I have somebody for you. You gotta meet this person, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and we talking about the straight world. You can't do that with gay people. They get offended.
I don't know anything about that.
They will let you know. Do not, just because you know one other gay person don't mean that we gonna match.
But no,
they love telling us that.
But that was a real thing. Like, you know, your homegirls would be like, yo, I know somebody. You know, you gotta meet her. She's your type, and it used to work. You'd be like, dang, my homegirls knew me. It used to work. You'd be like, okay, you know, like I like this. Parents used to match make. Aunts and uncles used to match make.
Nah, one chick at the church, I ain't gonna tell y'all who, man. Her mom hit up my mom and said, yo, is Gavin interested in bleep? Yeah. And I told my mom, if you don't throw your phone out the car right now.
But even if you don't like it, though, I think we got to bring matchmaking back. But like, we got to get back to the point where we hook people up.
Are you gonna be responsible? Because what if your boy is a freak ass nigga?
I mean, who ain't anymore? Who's not?
Drake is.
Hey, like the porn numbers show that everybody is freak ass. All right, like that's what the numbers.
I ain't watch a good. Probably because they didn't blocked it. I got to get a VPN.
Y'all watch so much porn on Twitter that Elon mentioned it. He was just like, yes, porn is legal. So I don't want to hear this like, oh man, out, you know, like somebody's like everybody is.
They are stripping it from Reddit though.
How long they been trying to strip Reddit from porn from Reddit?
They you know what? It's one of my favorite rooms. Me and my wife talking about this because she know I be liking these rooms. You know, my wife tried to call me a freak ass boy yesterday. She was like, "Yo, you into your like Sister Soldier Zane era?" Because I be on Reddit reading all the freak shit and laughing. She's like, "Yo, you really into this?" And I was like, "Yo, you gotta leave me alone."
Hey man, it's not like a good story, man.
Like but I be laughing because I'm on there, and one of my favorite. I guess a lot of dudes.
About Zane.
Yeah, look, man. I was in one of them rooms where dudes were talking about like they stories with escorts, and they were just going in. And dudes was in there giving up too much information. I think niggas started getting locked up because they admitting to prostitution and like locations, so they shut the whole room down. I used to be in there crying. Y'all already know that I used to be in the escorts thread, and they shut that. They kicked me out, rather. I don't think they shut that one down, but I'm pretty sure because like now, you know, it's whatever. Favorite part of the show, y'all already know what time it is. This is when we need prize picks to come give us a bag because
that's right.
Oh, Mandi, I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why women don't have y'all not getting the sports betting bag is because most of your audience need to be men, and y'all demographic ain't men. Just letting you know. I know men, y'all like to kick men's backs in. You think they your audience,
bro? They don't even like the WNBA right now. They're fighting. I have more active threads going back and forth fighting about the WNBA than the NBA in the last 5 years.
And let's be honest, Fashion Nova only giving the girls on reality TV and the rappers that I mentioned ain't named the bag, so it is what it is. R.I.P. to Willie Mays. I think he just passed.
Yes, R.I.P. to Willie Mays.
Amazing. I didn't want to make it sad, but I just remembered that. Yeah. R.I.P. to him. R.I.P. to I told somebody, I said if Jerry West was black, Mike might have that man tatted on him.
Maybe. Jerry West fan. R.I.P. to Jerry West.
R.I.P. to Jerry West. What a life. Forget a career. What a life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Big time.
And
Jerry, winner everywhere he go. I know people gonna mention like the 9 championships that he didn't win.
Yeah. But he got one.
His whole life. Yeah, he got one. His whole life to just always be at a high level. I mean, it's like even as an executive, right? The dude had the Memphis Grizzlies looking good.
He gave the Clippers everything besides, I can't play for you.
Yeah, I can't play for you. He
saying?
Gave the Clippers everything, did everything with the Lakers, like everywhere.
Did everything with Golden State.
Jeez, like, yeah, you're right. What a life for a guy from West Virginia. Like, yeah, what a life.
Only thing, Jerry West, I know you're not here with us, and I ain't saying nothing disparaging to your family. Yeah. Only problem I have with you, buddy, is you killed that great show. on HBO. The Showtime.
Oh,
him and Magic got that shit pulled, and that was such a great show.
That was really good. Yeah.
That's my only issue.
This is what I love though. When they pull a show and it's like loosely based on a true story, it just means that it's too true.
Too true.
That's freaking true. That's like, remember Playmakers got pulled off of ESPN?
Facts.
They were like, no,
we shutting y'all down.
Like, you're out of here.
Like the fact that I think the Showtime was in the middle of the second season. And Magic and Jerry West was complaining so much. The show just went away.
Yeah.
They didn't even, it was such a great show.
It was really good.
To the NBA Finals, this is my top 5 most boring finals of all time. The Boston Celtics has won 4-1. This shit was awful.
I think we complained more than we actually, I think we complained about every game more than we actually talked about the highlights from every game.
ESPN was talking about LeBron James the next day. That's how I knew this shit was awful. I said, yo.
It was terrible, bro. Hey, man, Kyrie, you need to send LeBron a bouquet right now. I'm sorry.
Edible arrangement,
You need to send it right now. Send that to LeBron. Luka, you are the human turnstile. You are lucky you're a Euro. Because I think if you was American, they'd be ripping your ass right now.
And if you was black,
terrible.
you would be on the bench.
Oh yeah, you was black, you would be the ratings for the next week or so.
Yeah.
On sports TV. That was
terrible.
Was
bad.
The finals was horrible.
You want my top 5 most boring finals?
Yes. What's your worst finals?
I'm gonna start at number 5. This is number 5 on my list.
Okay.
This is definitely number 5. Matter of fact,
this might be higher than number 5
for you.
Yeah, dude. I think I enjoyed Philly Lakers more than I enjoyed this.
The reason, let me tell you why I think this was bad. And I had this conversation. Shout out to Bernard. Shout out. I saw you had Anthony Anderson and Cedric Entertainer talking about you cooking. What a life for a boy from Hopkins. I will give you that. Even though you be having some goofies on your story, it doesn't matter because it ain't my page, whatever. But I think it's funny. Hold on, because I actually gave him my list. Damn, maybe I didn't list it. So, all right, this is on there. That Suns and Milwaukee Bucks is number 4 on my list. That was a horrible, the one a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that was a horrible finals. And just the fact that Devin Booker got outplayed by Chris Paul, the fact that it was over. It's not even the fact that it was over so quick. It was just trash. Number 3 on my list is Golden State versus Toronto Raptors. Awful. That was awful. Especially because remember, KD and Clay got hurt in game 1.
Oh yeah.
So that shit was just dead after that.
Yeah, but you got to see Steph
not do nothing.
Yeah, I mean
Draymond not care. Number 2 on my list, and this is in the
but Golden State got beaten, so I liked it.
Yeah,
so I liked it.
Number 2 on my list, and I'm only doing the last 25 years because I really don't remember shit before Jordan. So, and I'm not gonna say anything between 96 and 98 was born. If I had to do number 2 on my list, I don't know. Damn, who was that? That shit was, I can't remember. Number 1 on my list is the Cavs versus the Spurs. That was awful.
Cavs versus Spurs.
Awful.
That was terrible. I would say mine would be like Cavs versus Spurs, Philly versus Lakers, Pistons. I didn't like that one. And
the Pistons versus the Lakers?
Yeah, that was boring.
It was.
And
the bubble was my number 2 one.
I'd say this one. I actually enjoyed the bubble because I'm a Heat fan and a LeBron fan.
Okay.
So I actually enjoyed the bubble.
And you know what?
It was COVID. It was nothing else.
It wasn't nothing else on TV.
No new shows out.
Yeah, you're right. And I somebody asked me what made this boring. It was no storylines.
Nobody wanted to step up. No star. They're trying everything they can to make Jason Tatum a superstar, and he don't have it.
Well, he got a pregnant girlfriend on the side.
Yeah. That's LMA. And I like LMA. I saw when she came to Charlotte. She's one of my favorite.
Don't be talking at the end of your songs no more.
I would agree she could cut that out a little bit. But
bro, the fact that they tried to sell us on this is the first time we have 2 black head coaches coaching and nobody bought it. I guess we just all right, cool. They both biracial.
Jason Kidd is Jason Kidd. We kind of iffy on him.
Yeah.
And Missoula, he comes off a little bit different.
Okay.
Comes off a little bit different.
You tried to do that to us. It was a bunch of blowouts. I'm not even mad at the blowouts. It was just I told y'all earlier today in the group chat, we can't act like they've been telling us that Kyrie's been averaging 14 points for the whole playoffs. So when Kyrie's going off for 30, that is a great thing, but I expect him to hover around that 15 to 16 points.
I expected that to be the storyline, right? Like I low key going into the finals, like, yo, there's no way Kyrie's not going to go off against Boston.
That was supposed to be a storyline.
And show us who Kyrie really is.
And after game one, we realized that storyline is not a case.
Yeah, I was like, seriously, like Kyrie looked like he was like worried about losing his vacation deposit.
Look,
like,
you have been saying that.
I gotta get the hell out of here.
Doris, JJ Reddick, and Mike Breen, that was terrible. Horrible. It was trash. JJ Reddick, shout out to Jerry West for what you said to JJ.
What?
Amazing. When he said, yo, you only average 11 points. He told JJ Reddick, he said, how did you impact winning? Because JJ and him was beefing about something.
Oh.
And he just shot it. You got to go look it up.
I gotta go look that up.
And this is why I say it like this. The reason why that was great. When two people that played at the highest level of basketball and the one looks at you and say, how did you impact your team winning? That is a cut.
Yeah, it is.
That's a dig amongst digs.
I mean, you didn't do anything.
Exactly. So, JJ's not giving us no heavy insight into the game. Mike Breen only did like one bang because the rest of the shit was just awful. Doris, I love Doris, and it'll be distasteful. I'm going to not choose equality, and I'm not going to speak on you. I'm going to let the men just take shots. I don't know if the NBA should be concerned. I told y'all then.
I think they should be, because who is your superstar right now? Your international superstars seem to care more about getting back home to Europe in the offseason than playing basketball.
Yo, Jokic love telling us, yo, I got to get home.
Yeah, so, I think the NBA should be concerned. Travel basketball has kind of ruined the ideal of knowing who America's superstars are. And of course it's going to happen, because what else would happen? I think the next generation of basketball players' sons is going to be what saves the NBA. Facts. I think Melo's son is a baller. I think Bryce is a baller.
Bryce is him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think that is going to save the NBA in the future, is that a lot of these guys, have children now.
Yeah.
That's going to save the league. But it's like, like these international stars, they don't give a fuck. They be ready to go.
They be ready to go. Luka drinking a beer after the game on camera. How you feel about Mike Finley throwing his beer away?
I think it was a smooth move. I mean, could have been sponsorship. Also, it's nothing to celebrate yet. Facts. And dude, be professional. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. We look at how Luka played in that finals. A lot of that, again, like I said, he's not going to get ripped because he's an international star. And I'm saying international instead of saying what I should be saying, because the other side of the internet, y'all just don't know how to act. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if that was LeBron James drinking a beer and then he had a terrible finals, everybody would talk about that beer.
Well, Luka didn't have a terrible finals. He just team sucked. But I understand what you're saying.
Plus and minus. I need to look it up. It has to be terrible.
It has to be terrible.
Like that dude. I mean, dude, they were jab stepping at Luka and he was about to fall down, bro, blowing past him. Like it was no resistance.
My problem with Luka was the crying.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole finals,
but he's always a whiner. He's always a whiner. So, I'm not.
Congratulations to Shannon Sharp on the new deal with ESPN. I won't be watching. I really don't rock with First Take like that.
I'm shocked with what he has going on YouTube. And because it can be controversial, right? It's like it's not, but people can make it controversial, and then that makes things controversial. I'm kind of surprised that ESPN still offered him that deal, considering he's had some, if we're being honest, some shock jock moments.
Yeah.
On this show. So
he about to have one.
He's
Dana White. Well, let's be fair.
Y'all know I don't use Dana. I use Dana White as a verb.
Absolutely. And Mike can't wait. Shannon Sharp, I know the interview is cut, produced, edited. The color grading on there is amazing. I will say that. And I want to know what rig y'all have to slide the cameras, because once we get a production assistant, we're going to be doing that. Mike, let's be honest. Is he going to ask Dana White about his wife?
No, and I'm gonna watch it the whole time just to see.
Shannon, I'm putting my money on you doing this, and I'm putting a drink on it. I will buy Mike a drink,
and I'll buy you one if he does. I want him to, because I think that's a valid question. Because again, we're not in a place in society where we can discuss nuance, and I think it's going to take hard conversations to bring nuance back.
Absolutely. I can't wait. But what I do believe is, I believe he'll ask him. Nope. I believe Dana White is going to give him a very boring ass answer, and I know for a fact we are not betting on this. It will not be not one follow up.
Oh no. I only think get the first question out. So I don't believe the second one coming out.
The second one ain't coming out because Shannon would not dare be like, so why wasn't the media outlets, the person who just gave me a new bag, didn't speak about this? I can't.
God, he just signed with ESPN. Yeah, the fact that this question won't even get asked is why I always say like, yo, I'm gonna stop banging on bros at all. Like, fuck this accountability thing. I'm gonna Dana White everything that happened. We had to talk about Diddy, but because Diddy's hip hop and music and culture. Mm-hmm. But if he wasn't, I would have Dana Whited it. I ain't even gonna lie, because I'm like, when it comes to that side, like, bro,
they don't talk about shit.
I had this argument on Twitter the other day. I was like, the way that this country treated candy, cocaine, and opioids is. They ignored drug laws when it came to opioids. They had laws on the book that dated not even every EMS person carries fucking Narcan on them. Like,
they be at the field more with it.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo. Next question.
No. This what they do. A black man get his hair done, he gets fired. You know that principal, that white principal who had them kids playing his head, still got a job. That's all you need to know how the internet works.
And this is the thing, right? Is this our fault as a community, right?
Yeah.
Are we doing it to ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
But that's all. Frank versus Tank.
Hey man,
what was your thoughts? Because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, Frank can fight, man. He took on Tank way too early.
Yeah,
he took on Tank way too early, man. But I think he's a future champion. Tank, for as weird as he is sometimes on the internet, the boy could box. He could box. I wish he was like 4 inches taller. I really do, because I think he's stuck at his weight class. I don't think he could really go up, because like he just waited on this fight. I mean, like not waited on this fight. He waited during the fight for the shot. Yeah. And then when he saw it, he was just like bam, bam, and I was just like, I was like, that's Tank. But the higher you go up in weight, like the more it becomes harder to knock people out.
Shout out to Roy Jones Jr. Man, he learned the hard way.
Exactly. I mean, most boxers do. I mean, it's why Canelo don't want to come down to fight Crawford, because he's like, yo, I mean, like you have to dehydrate yourself. Yeah. To make these weights, and people, I don't know if anybody's ever been dehydrated. If you ever go, like I recently experienced, because I was actually in Denver, like the mountains, because of the air, it'll dehydrate you. Like, it's crazy how it works. But you get like headaches, you get lightheaded, and most of the time these guys, drop weight, they have to dehydrate themselves, then hydrate the night before the fight. So yeah, I don't think Tank. I think he's kind of stuck with his app. I think Frank is a future champ. I like Frank.
Mike's favorite part of the show, and this has been in Ryan's favorite part of the show. Shout out to Ryan's friend Gibby. He tried to argue with me about sports, took an L. All Ryan friends take an L in sports. We talked about the weakest era of basketball. And I told him I think it was
excluding the 50s.
Yeah, but excluding the 50s, starting at the 80s, really.
Okay.
And I told him I think it was the 2000s. That was my personal answer.
Early 2000s. I'm gonna be honest, man. And I was a Jordan fan. The 90s weren't great.
So, and
it's a lot of nostalgia.
So that's what Ryan's thing was. He was like, oh, the 90s. But like I told Ryan, I said, you do that because he's a LeBron fan who needs to kick in Michael Jordan's back, which the same for Mike, by the way. And like I told Ryan, I said, if I ask you to name me your top 30 players, the least amount of people are going to come from the 2000s.
That's a solid argument, Gail. I cannot
in the top 20, 15 of them are going to come from the 90s, the 80, 90, that weird thing. But anyway, I told him that because I was like, yo, outside of, we get Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan. And after that, it's really like, it's top heavy, very much so.
If we want to be honest, LeBron saved the league during that era. Like him coming into the league, it gave the league.
I don't think people really understand that. Yeah. I know a lot of us are Kobe fans. Kobe's my second favorite player of all time. But the league was, David Stern was scared. If you ask him,
it was flailing.
He would tell you, yo, look, Mike didn't want to get into it. We want to do it. RIP Kobe. There's a reason, he's behind me. There's a reason why that Pistons and Lakers series was trash. And it was Kobe's going through legal issues, him and Shaq fighting. The Pistons was just boring as hell.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot going on. And Kobe's the best player in your league, and he got a lot going on, was not good.
Yeah.
Shaq is with D Wade leaving, they not really liking each other. They fighting. It's not really going. You had Latrell Sprewell punching people. You know what I'm saying? Like the league wasn't at this greatest thing. But anyway, Gibby took an L. But Gibby only took an L because he was trying to tell me how great Steph was, and he didn't know who Monte Ellis was. And I told him I can't talk basketball no more. But he's a young guy, man. I love the youngest man. But here's Mike's favorite part: politics. Yeah, your girl.
Hey man,
the sister. We did it, Joe.
Democrats.
She was sitting with Quavo.
Y'all are really about to make me leave top of that ballot blank.
Come on, man. Y'all can't do that.
No, we're gonna vote. We just frustrated.
When I say I never laugh so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what made me laugh harder, this or Tyla, but probably this.
Yeah. Look, man. Stop rolling out rappers to try to get black men interested in voting. Stop doing that.
Hillary did it with Pusha T.
Stop doing that.
Kamala doing it with.
We don't care about rappers' political opinions. We don't care.
And can he vote?
I don't think he vote. I mean, I'm so sick of this shit, man. Stop. Like, there's so many people. Dr. Tyson treatise on our boy Howard, Terrence Howard, was way more interesting than Quavo and Kamala. Bring on Neil Tyson. I don't even know who Neil Tyson vote for. I can even tell you. I can assume because he's a black man, but I don't know.
Yeah, too rich and too smart.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. He could go either way. It's just like, yo, like, stop doing this. Like, bro, stop. Like, because it's not even pandering at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not.
You playing our face.
You're playing in our face, man. Cut this shit out. If you want our vote, why don't you find people that believe in the things that we believe in, right? Why don't you find those people and talk about those things? Why don't you find people that, and not the Twitter guys, right? The lords of Twitter, Tariq and Umar. Like, no, go and find actual guys and put them in front of us, right,
bruh? And you know what's scary for me? They just getting started. It's only June. We got a while. We got months.
And Democrats, stop rolling Joe Biden out. Just keep him hidden to fucking November 8th and then do whatever the fuck you want to do. All right? No debates, no nothing. Just start, let us remember the old racist Joe. All right? Just stop rolling him out, man. Grant, oh my God.
Bro, they had
I'm sorry, the segment isn't good. I'm sorry. It's not.
And they had him at the Juneteenth concert.
Again, pandering.
That was tough.
Oh, that
was tough.
Everything was rough to watch. Kamala pretending she understand gospel. Kurt Franklin being so happy to be there. And I'm not going to talk about the rest because I'm just going to get canceled. And
Kurt Franklin, man, you got to relax. I love you. I met you. I told you what you did for my childhood. But you got to relax. He has to. He is I say this in closing. When you go to some of these events, people that know his camera's there and they have to put on a show, especially you go to influencer events, you realize how fake people are. Yeah. And Kurt Franklin seems like he's a great, the cameras is here. We need this, Kurt. This is the gospel, blah, 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 Juneteenth event. We need the president showing that, black boy joy. And I hate that term, by the way. We need it. Can we end black boy joy in 2024? I'm done with this shit because you never do it when you talk about little kids. You only do it to make grown men seem...
emasculate grown men.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I will clip that because that's my point. But yes. What you got planned this weekend?
Not much. Golfing tomorrow. Happy Juneteenth to everybody. That's all I got. That's all I got. Y'all kind of got me heated on this last.
Sorry, man. I put it at the end for a reason. I thought, I should put it in the middle, but it's all good. This weekend I will be working. If you see me out, come and speak. Next weekend, I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be up north. I'm gonna be in Harlem. I say that to say, if you want to pod while I'm up there, please let me know. Hit me up. I will have a haircut.
Hit Black Effect up next week while you up there, man.
I'm gonna try to see. Yeah, you know what?
See if we get on the network.
Yeah, something, man. Or Joe, wherever y'all at in Jersey, Joe, let me come over there and edit. Use one of the cameras, man. But anyway, man. Yo, if you got anything for us, hit us up. If you want to, you have a question for a black dad, please send it over. We will read it. Let us know if we can shout out your name. and we'll do it, man. Or send us a voice memo. We'll play it so Mike can be annoyed at you. And we can, just send it over. Anyway, with that, we're going to holler at y'all next time.
Holla at your boy.